story, and if you would be willing to share any details, I'd love to hear.
Well, I lived in. I'm from Jersey originally. I became a waiter when I was 16 in high school because I knew I could always find work in the restaurant business. I didn't go very far in college. I took a couple of courses in Nebraska, and I continued to live in the East Coast. I met a gal in an AA meeting in 79th Street, and I moved to Georgia, my second home anyway, for about 12 years. But fortunately or unfortunately, that ended, and I ended up coming from San Francisco to Los Angeles. And it's been great coming here because there's so much going on as far as resources in this area. LA's got tons of places that from Monday through Sunday you can go and receive some kind of hot meal or clothing or somebody to talk to, grief counseling. There's every type of thing that you can imagine. So it's been a good experience coming in the Hollywood area, and that's kind of my story. And generally, I'm just trying to receive my mail here and have a place to come to. And I know things will get better, but I do like the area. And I used to see myself wanting to escape from LA and either go with San Francisco again or back to New York area where I'm from. But more and more, I'm thinking I can make it here in Hollywood.
And I was wondering, what's something you would want the typical person, average person, to know about homeless or homelessness if they've never experienced it or know anybody in it? What is something?
Well, I don't think it's just unique to LA, because I've been back and forth on the Greyhound a couple times to the East Coast, and there's just so many people everywhere I look, sleeping on church steps in sleeping bags alongside of Central Park on benches. And I think it's just a problem that the whole nation is experiencing, because people are really desperate to get jobs, and the jobs that they get, sometimes the minimum wage is hardly enough to find an apartment and make all ends meet. So I think it's a problem all over the country. But I will point out that I read an article on the internet about the Los Angeles County Jail having over 1 million people in their system, which I was staggered. That's a staggering amount, rather. And I thought to myself, if that costs $100 a day to house a person there, and the taxpayers have to pay $100 million a day, that's something else that needs to be addressed. People that get busted for different stuff, and they end up going through that system and everything, and by the time they get out, I mean, it's a revolving door. I think that's... but there are ministries that I know about that are trying to help people come back out of that system and stay out. They have different Hollywood Impact ministries, and the thing is, you have to do for yourself. You have to go on a computer, look up these people, and say, I'm willing to work. I'm willing to work long hours, hard work, and whatever places you can go to get work. Homeboy Industries, wherever you're at, area-wise, you want to find a place where, I don't care if it's packing cardboard boxes, that they're going to pay you a minimum wage at least. But I think people are afraid to do that when they get in a homeless situation. They don't know how to come back out of that. And it's a matter of how you focus your mind to wait. I might want to do something to better myself. Basically, that's my story.
Excellent. Yeah, and the final thing, are there any misconceptions you think about homelessness or homeless in general that you think you...
Yeah, I think that the misconception is that people who are on the street living in sleeping bags don't have any education or never came from good families, where I think that most of the time they came from broken families and they do have education. Some of them may have degrees, but it's just that in our country there's so much competition for the good-paying jobs, and the young people get the bulk of the jobs. And as people get older, they become more and more fragile and they give up on themselves. But hopefully, from the political spectrum, there'll be some type of addressing of that situation with the administration currently there, I hope that with all the funding that they're doing, they're going to find a way to help the average person and senior citizens to get into housing, because I know that there's enough money. It's just a matter of getting them into the right shelter systems or the right housing environment and transporting them. Sometimes the older people need a little help, somebody to nursemaid them through the steps of it. Other than that, I think that there's hope for the future with our current administration. We got to pray for our president, not hate and think like, oh, we wanted Hillary and we're Democrats and this is not working. Let's impeach him. That's just not going to work. We need to support him and Melania Trump and be on the side of positive influence for the future.
Excellent. And if there's is there any final things you just want to get off your chest?
That's it. I thank you for letting me be in the interview.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.
Scott.